Linda Yaccarino will not fix Twitter. It's a bit too late for that.
Watch the rain as it's falling down.
Greetings, lovely people, and welcome to yet another discussion video going over Elon Musk's Twitter 2.0, and at last, the announcement that we've all been waiting for, the replacement for Elon as CEO of Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, and it's Linda Yaccarino, which is honestly okay. I don't have that many issues. The WEF, which she was a chair on, I do believe, is what I consider to be late-stage capitalism, and is kind of not a great organisation, but how angry it makes the rightoids kind of makes up for that. So, at the end of the day, Linda Yaccarino, I'm sure, though she is very much a, conservative with centrist beliefs and some left-leaning social issue beliefs, I don't think she's going to really adjust the, stance of Twitter, especially with Elon still remaining on for product design and new technologies within the company. I don't see a reality where Linda is going to make any sort of major change for Twitter, and that is kind of the problem. When we had the poll to decide whether Elon would eventually step down and be replaced by a new CEO, and it just kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed, I was personally under the assumption that it just would never happen. Then, fortunately, on 11th of May, we did actually get to the announcement that Elon had picked someone, and then just a few days later on the 12th, literally the next day, actually not even a few days later, the literal next day, we got the official announcement that it was Linda Yaccarino. And I still feel like it's not the right move. As I say, when it comes to Yaccarino, she's very much someone who is an expert in advertising and the like. She knows how to make money for a company, and that is what Twitter needs right now desperately. It is redlining like crazy, and personally, I would rather not see Twitter completely disappear because of Elon. If it's going to disappear, I'd rather it disappear because people no longer care about it, for whatever reason that may be. I really don't want Elon to be someone that I have to complain about even more than I already do for everything else that he has caused throughout technology as a whole, and it's really, really frustrating. I've obviously already done my Elon rant close to the time that the buyout happened, and the video that I scripted out going over what was originally Elon's very, very bad, no good week turned into month. I was going to start writing it as year at one point, and I just decided it's not really worth it at this point. If you're wanting a more comprehensive breakdown of everything bad that Elon does, I'll have a playlist from Internet Today, linked in the description below, because they cover it way better than I do, and they have a lot more time to be able to talk about this stuff, because it's draining, honestly, seeing everything that Elon does. And this is the thing, Twitter is redlining. It's not doing well in any real aspect. Advertisers have left, and things like Twitter Blue that have been trying to implemented in order to fix the problems with, having money for the company are not helping. They're not paying for their rent, they're not paying for various other things, including, I believe at some points, they have stopped paying for their actual hosting, which, how the servers have remained up and, operational is beyond me, but they have no employees left because they keep firing everyone in massive waves. There is essentially a skeleton crew running Twitter right now, and it is truly amazing and remarkable that they have managed to keep it running as well as it has. There are still a lot of issues with Twitter, and those issues are made even worse by all the changes Elon is actively making. Twitter is something that I've spent so much time using. It's my main place on the internet in terms of where I, post the most, where I interact with people the most, and where I see stuff the most. I spend a lot of time on YouTube, don't get me wrong, and, in the past I have used platforms like Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat heavily, don't get me wrong, but Twitter has been one constant. It was my first social media account, and though I don't use the original account that I have because I lost the password, I have got quite a few Twitter accounts that I use for various different things. Obviously, just as I have different YouTube channels for different things, which link in description to the other ones if you're interested in gaming or just gaming. I don't really do anything on the other channels, but yeah, I have Twitter accounts for different things, and honestly, the experience on, say, the gaming Twitter account is pretty standard. It's not really changed too much because I already followed hundreds of different accounts that all had a lot of different things to talk about. I follow a bunch of different news outlets for gaming and technology, and just generally, I don't have to interact with the swill as much on that account. Whereas on Luna.Luna underscore, I guess, Luna.Luna underscore, yeah, it's just not the same. I am constantly thrown everything bad that's happening in the world, and that is by design. I've created that account in terms of its following and everything to kind of hyper-focus on news. And unfortunately, the world is terrible at all times. It doesn't really change. But it does make Twitter so much worse, because Elon's Twitter, specifically, is pushing away more centrist and more non-political users to the point where I'm losing a lot of that non-extreme political side. I don't get to enjoy using Twitter as much, generally, unless there's something ridiculous happening that I personally find entertaining. But that doesn't really happen. And all the while, I could be making videos pretty much every day talking about how Elon started going off about how, that Democratic hyper donator, I need to find that name, but he compares, what is his name? He compared somebody who is Jewish themselves, who is a Holocaust survivor, I do believe. He compared him to the Marvel character Magneto, and it's going to really bug me if I cannot find that original tweet, because it is absolutely ridiculous. But in any case, blatant anti-Semitism, blatant conspiracy theories being posted all the time, and I just don't understand how Elon expects, with that kind of posting, to get advertisers back. No matter whether he's the CEO, he will still be the face of Twitter, just as he is the face of Tesla, and SpaceX, and Neuralink, and Boring Company, and all these other companies that he's supposedly supposed to be running, and I don't think he's an actual leader for any of them. Not in a real way, not in a useful way. It's really frustrating, because at the end of the day, if you go back a few years, though I weren't talking about it because I didn't really care too much, I was a huge fan of Tesla. I thought Tesla was going to be the savior of, the electronic car industry, and fortunately I was wrong, because if Tesla was, I would be in a much different position right now. But yeah, Tesla was something that I actually admired heavily, and by extension Elon Musk, because he'd created it, he'd developed these cars, and he'd, ran this company in what I saw was a good way, and really pushed forward the industry. Same could have been said for SpaceX. Same could have been said for when the Boring Company was just digging holes and building flamethrowers, and that was fun. That was interesting. But not anymore, because now Neuralink is promising things that nobody wants, while kind of sidelining the things that people do want from Neuralink, but aren't going to happen. And then Tesla is repeatedly having more and more major critical failures, which is always fun. More cars that are just not functioning properly, more discounts that really just equate to less features that you then have to pay $10,000 for to re-enable, even though they're already in the car. And not a major issue with Tesla, but just from everything I've seen and heard, and especially seen while driving at night, Teslas have really bright headlights, and it is blinding, but that's not really a Tesla-specific issue. And then with SpaceX, obviously we recently saw the explosion of the SpaceX shuttle. Fortunately, no one was hurt, which is really the only positive about that, because at the end of the day, space travel has been a thing for going on over half a decade at this point. Half a century, at this point. And the fact that SpaceX is making these somewhat rookie mistakes when they are much greater funded than NASA really has ever been, it's just disappointing. Elon Musk wants us to go to Mars. Elon Musk wants us to travel the stars in the next 15 years. And it's just unrealistic at this point. There's so much wrong with how Elon is as a person, both politically and just personally, as just an individual. He's not as smart as he thinks he is. And quite honestly, he's not as smart as a lot of people tend to believe he is. And on top of that, he's not even as rich as he claims to be. He's a liar, a narcissist, and in a lot of ways, an actual true idiot. And it's remarkable that he has so many stans following him at all times. And unfortunately, it's because he's jumped on the bandwagons of the far right. I don't think having a conservative, liberal, centrist type running Twitter is going to change much. Because what is needed to make actual change for these companies is Elon to just step away entirely. Just leave these companies, put someone competent in charge. Linda would be perfect for Twitter, as I say. We need more people for, Tesla and SpaceX, people that have experience in the industry and understand the industries that they are working in. And Elon just needs to kind of go away. That's the only way that any of these, at their core, really good companies, or really advanced companies that are going to do great things potentially, are going to survive. Right now, as I'm talking, pretty much every single Elon company is doing bad in pretty much every economic factor. Whether that's in their stock pricing, in their actual value as a company, and pretty much any other factor you can think of. And right now, Elon is not helping. He's discriminating against major groups across the world, while also taking money from every governmental force that he can possibly steal from, essentially. I don't want to see these companies fail. I want to see their developments actually do good for the world. And to a lesser extent, I want to see Twitter become Twitter again. Linda Yaccarino is not going to fix that, because Elon is still going to be in the driver's seat. Maybe the co-pilot seat, but he's still up there. And he's not going to let go of those sticks. So, yeah. In any case, this is yet another rambling, ranty type video about Elon Musk and his useless behaviour, but yeah, that is really all I can say about it. This was a bit of a palate cleanser, especially after some of the more recent news. I just wanted to talk about something that is so inconsequential in the grand scheme of things that I can just ramble and just kind of give my thoughts about something that does mean quite a lot to me, even if it's not really that important. But yeah, in any case, that is going to be it for this video. So if you liked it, make sure to like it, subscribe if you're new here, and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. Otherwise, comment below, what do you think of anything that I've discussed in this video? Give me your thoughts, give me your feelings. I'd love to read them. And yeah, otherwise, I'll see you in what is probably going to be a much less inconsequential video, because there's quite a few topics I need to talk about. But in any case, I'll see you next video. Bye!